Hey everybody, it's Car Ray Rob. I'm Ray.
I'm Rob.
Today we're giving you our before and after trailer breakdown for the Netflix original Little Evil.
Ooh. So this sounds just like The Omen.
Exactly like The Omen.
Gary meets the woman of his dreams, thinks her son is the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's the bad marriage you get into. You probably should have found that out before you sealed the deal.
Right. Adam Scott being in this movie, I think that's going to make it a comedy. Almost more of a silly comedy, and I think for this movie to work, it really needs to be a dark comedy.
Evangeline Lily is in this. She does more serious stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Lost, the Hobbit movies, Ant-Man. I don't really see her as much of a comedian. Yeah. So I don't know how she would kind of roll on this movie. Right. But again, if it is more of a dark comedy than a silly comedy, I think that could really work. I also think it would be really genius for Adam Scott to do a dark comedy.
Yeah, we've seen Adam Scott in Parks and Rec, which, he plays off that comedy really well. He did really great in that series. It was really part of when that series turned around.
Absolutely.
We saw him doing some silly stuff with Step Brothers. He's done that. It'd be really interesting to see him do that dark comedy role and see if he can pull that off.
Yeah, I think there's something really kind of right below the surface. He's a really screwed up guy, and I want to see him bring that out.
Based that the synopsis is so close to The Omen, I feel like if this is just a silly comedy, I don't know how much I'm going to like it.
Yeah, no, I can agree completely.
Let's see what we got here with Little Evil.
Everybody please welcome Gary.
Well, my wife and I just recently got married.
Hey, she's much happier.
Perfect. She's everything I ever wanted. And, I'm having a little tiny bit of trouble bonding with my new stepson, Lucas. Whoa, look at that. You found some earthworms. Good talking to you, buddy. Never really looks me in the eye. Doesn't talk much, except when he yells at me to get out of his room.
Parody me
using this weird little goat puppet thing. I get this.
It's just a screwball comedy.
The Wayans Brothers
incarnate. Yeah.
Scary Movie 12.
Remind me again how
Quest for more scary.
was conceived.
You remember when I told you about that crazy time in my 20s where I joined that sort of cult?
No, I don't think you told me about that.
This cult believes a child will rise up from hell to rule mankind and to bring on the end of the world as we know it. I think we found that child. And now, you're his stepdad.
There is nothing wrong with Lucas. He's very particular.
The child. He did this to me.
You told me that was normal, that all kids are dicks.
That's true, kids are dicks, man. But this is a different level. He's like top of the dick chain, bro.
So creative.
Typical mom.
Butcher that goat.
This is so crazy. Dude, bro, you gotta relax, man.
How can I relax? We're in a cornfield.
So?
What good thing has ever happened in a cornfield, Al?
Well, I don't know.
Feel the dreams.
Field of Dreams is pretty cool.
All right, Rob, that was scary, but because it was the silly comedy that we were hoping we weren't going to get.
Almost borderline parody movie for me, which, those movies can work. I'm not saying they can't. But this movie, I felt like, because it didn't go full parody, it kind of just felt half-assed in some ways.
Yeah, I think there's funny parts in the trailer for sure, but I just think historically when you see movies like these are the funniest parts, and then the rest of the movie just doesn't seem to have as much kick to it.
Yeah, I think Adam Scott, he's going to be fine. He's going to deliver on the last. Evangeline Lily, we'll see.
But she's not, and she's playing more of the out of the loop mom.
Yeah,
she's watching everything through shaded glasses or something. So she, she doesn't have to go full comedy. She's just playing naive.
The kid, I feel like he's going to play the whole movie straight, which makes sense because he's supposedly Damien,
Lucas.
But in the same respect, I feel like you kind of need a little something from him, and I think maybe that's part of where it doesn't necessarily cross into that line of parody. If you think of something, I don't even know if you've ever seen this movie. There's a movie called Repossessed. It was from the early 90s. It was a Leslie Nielsen parody movie. And Linda Blair, who was in The Exorcist, actually was in this movie as well. And she kind of replayed her role. But she was funny. Mm-hmm. She added to the comedy where I don't know if this kid's necessarily going to do that.
No, but I do think his sock puppet might.
Mr. Sacco!
The kid seems like he's going to be a mute for most of the movie, so
Yeah.
you're not really going to get much else other than him speaking through the sock.
That can be funny, but I didn't see any of that in the trailer.
Yeah.
I think the only part that really kind of got me with that was like the one part where it was like looking out the peephole and like the sock pops up.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of funny, but then the part which again kind of borderline parody when Adam Scott walks up on the kid on the television set like he's in Poltergeist, and then
very parody-ish.
Right, and then the sock like turns around and starts talking to him. I'm like, ugh. It's like you took that pop culture reference moment, and instead of making it really a parody, the sock became the joke, and I don't know, I feel like that just didn't work for me.
I kind of like the idea maybe of the support group, the dad's support group.
That
like,
could
there
be
could
funny,
be some room there to maybe do something a little bit different, but I don't know. It doesn't. A lot of stuff that, like I said, can kind of play off a little funny in the trailer, but I don't know how it's going to stick me in the whole frame of the movie.
All right, Ray, time to rate Little Evil. Midnight it, stream it, forget it. Where you at?
Well, Rob, self-proclaimed, I don't like horror movies,
It's true.
and if you're going to be a comedy, you gotta go like that scary movie route and be really over the top, cheesy to make it funny, or try a different route like we mentioned with the dark comedy. This movie I feel like does nothing, so it's doing nothing for me. I'm at forget it.
Yeah, I honestly can't blame you. I am going to forget it as well.
You haven't forgotten a movie in a long time.
Yeah, it's probably been a while, but I have to say, like, there's really nothing about this movie that even really makes me want to stream it. You're right, it's that middle of the road comedy. It's like they couldn't decide what direction they wanted to go, so they just kind of kept it in the middle. And like, I'm sure there's going to be some chuckles. I'm sure, throughout there, one or two, and I'm sure Adam Scott is going to probably get most of them because he is a funny guy. But even with him, there's just nothing about this movie that makes me want to watch it. Nothing at all.
And you're not gonna. All right, everybody, that's it from us. But now I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think about Little Evil? Is this a double forget it in your mind too? Or do you think Adam Scott can save it? Let us know.
Then hit the like and subscribe button to catch all of our upcoming videos.
Till then, this is Car Ray Rob, and I'm Ray.
I'm Rob.
I've heard police work is dangerous.
It is. That's why I carry a big gun.
Aren't you afraid it might go off accidentally?
I used to have that problem.
What did you do about it?
I just think about baseball.